The Trade Academy of Horizon Station was a place where 100 alien civilizations tried to prove they were wiser than each other. Tall crystal walls glowed with soft violet light. Translation drones hummed quietly above the marble floor, and students from distant star systems walked the long halls wearing uniforms that showed their species rank and heritage. Humans knew their only 3 years had passed since Earth joined the interstellar community, and many species still looked at humans with curiosity mixed with quiet arrogance. They believed humans were primitive, young, and refined them. The Academy students was a human girl named Maya Torres. She was small compared to many of the towering alien species. Dark hair, tied back, calm eyes, and the simple grey uniform of the human diplomatic corps. Maya walked through the Academy hall carrying a stack of learning tablets. The corridor was crowded with students from several species. Tall silver-skinned Varelians, insect-like Drothi scholars, and the heavy armored Karth Dominion cadets who believed strength alone defined authority. The Karth were feared in many systems. They were large, nearly 3 meters tall, their skin plated like dark iron, their voices like grinding stone. At the center of the corridor stood one of them, Commander Traxil, a Karth cadet known for bullying weaker species. Several students had already stepped aside to avoid. Himaya did not notice him at first. She simply walked forward, focused on the lesson she had just finished about interspecies negotiation and the history of Earth alliances. Then Traxil moved. His massive armored hand shot forward. He grabbed the collar of Maya's uniform and lifted her slightly off the floor. The tablets slipped from her arms and scattered across the shining floor. The entire hall fell silent. Students stopped walking. Translation drones paused mid-air. Traxil leaned down close to Maya's face, his glowing red eyes narrowing with cold amusement. His voice rumbled across the corridors. "This is the human everyone keeps praising thee. Fragile little diplomat. Tell me, human girl, do you believe your species truly belongs among the stars?" A few alien students laughed nervously. Others looked away. Humans were still considered politically delicate. Many believed they should avoid conflict and prove they were peaceful. Maya hung in his grip, feet barely touching the floor. She did not panic. She did not shout. Instead, she looked directly into the Karth cadet eyes. Her voice came out calm and steady. "You should let go of my collar." Traxil laughed loudly. "Or what human will you ask?" Politely, his grip tightened slightly. Several students expected Maya to beg or struggle. Instead, she spoke again in the same quiet tone. "You should let go because you do not understand what you are." Doyen Traxil smiled wider, showing rows of sharp metallic teeth. "I understand perfectly. I am teaching a primitive species its playster." Silence in the hall grew deeper. Then something unexpected happened. The translation drones suddenly shifted position and began recording. Security sensors activated, and several alien professors stepped out of nearby classrooms, their faces tense. Traxil noticed none of this. He was too focused on humiliating the human girl. Maya tilted her head slightly. Her eyes remained calm. "You should have read the Academy orientation." Phil Traxil snorted. "I do not read files about weak species." Voice stayed soft. "File explains why humans are here and why every major alliance signed our protection charter." Some students exchanged confused glances. Traxil leaned closer. "Protection charter. Humans need protection." Maya gave a small, slow shake of her head. "No, everyone else." Dust. The words hung in the air. Then a voice echoed across the hala. Professor from the elder species called the Valna stepped forward, their long silver robes trailing behind them. "Commander Traxil Rayleigh, The human student, immediate Lytraxel, glanced toward the professor with annoyance. This is none of your concern. The Valma professor voice was unusually tense. It is very much my concern. Release her now. Several other faculty members had gathered behind him. A Dorothy, ambassador who taught interstellar lay, military historian from the Varelian Republic, even to station security officers. Of them were staring at Traxel, not with anger, with a noticed the tension, but still refused to release Maya. Why? He growled. She is just a human. Maya looked up at him calmly and spoke one simple sentence. My grandmother helped end the Orion War. A ripple of unease passed through the gathered alliance. The Dorothy ambassador stepped forward quickly. Commander Traxel, you must release her immediately. Traxel frowned. What does that matter? The ambassador voice sharpened. It matters because the Orion War nearly destroyed half the council species and humanity ended it. In 6 hours now, the corridor was completely silent. Students stared in disbelief. The Orion War was legendary. A catastrophic conflict between dozens of advanced civilizations that had lasted nearly a century. Traxel grip loosened slightly, but he still held. My impossible. No species ended that war. The Velma professor spoke again. Humans did when their diplomatic fleet arrived. They studied the conflict for 3 hours, then they demonstrated a weapon system no one else had imagined. Traxel eyes flickered. Maya watched him quietly. The professor continued. A gravitational containment array capable of disabling every warship in the conflict simultaneously. No destruction, no casualties, just total control. The war ended before anyone understood what happened. Traxel slowly turned his head back toward Maya. She still looked calm. The Dorothy ambassador added another detail. Humanity gave the technology to no one. Instead, they formed peace accords with every surviving power. That is why the charter. Extraterrestrial voice lowered. What charter? The Varelian historian answered. The charter, stating that no species may threaten a human citizen, because humans are the neutral guardians of interstellar peace. A murmur spread among the students. Some had heard fragments of this history. Few realized how serious it was. Maya spoke gently. Humans do not start wars, but we are very good at ending them. Traxel looked around the hall. Every faculty member was watching him. Security officers were quietly preparing restraint fields. The Dorothy ambassador spoke again. Commander Traxel, if you continue to hold that student, you will be declaring a hostile act against a charter-protected species. Legally counts as an act against the entire interstellar council. Traxel massive hand opened instantly. Maya dropped lightly back to the floor. She adjusted her collar calmly, then knelt to pick up her scattered tablets. The Karth cadet stepped backward. His arrogance had vanished. The Valma professor voice softened slightly. Commander Traxel, you will apologize. Traxel looked down at the small human girl for the first time. His expression showed uncertainty. Maya finished gathering her tablets and stood up. She met his gaze again. Traxel lowered his head slightly, a rare gesture for a Karth warrior human. Maya tore his eye. Apologize for my behavior. The entire hall watched. Maya studied him for a moment, then she nodded, apologiated, but next time, read the orientation file. A few quiet laughs spread among the students. Even the professors relaxed slightly. Traxel stepped aside from the corridor, clearing the path. Maya walked forward calmly past him. As she passed, she added one final sentence in a gentle voice. Also, my grandmother was the peaceful one in the family then. She continued down the corridor, leaving behind a hall full of stunned aliens who had just learned something important about humanity. Humans did not rule the stars. They did not conquer systems. They did not threaten other civilizations. But when humans walked into a conflict, even the most powerful empires listened, because every species in the galaxy remembered the same quiet truth: humanity preferred peace, but if someone forced their hand, the war would be over before it truly began. The humans would still be standing calmly at the center of the silent hall, while the rest of the galaxy apologized for the mistake.